Welcome to Golf and the Good Life, your guide to golf travel across the pond. I'm DJ Jones, joined by my friend and colleague Connor Evers. Connor, this is kind of our obligatory intro episode to yet another podcast. It is hard to believe that the world needed another podcast, but here we are.
This is true. Yes, this is great, DJ. We wanted to have another podcast under our belt. We've had one with H&B, but a different one, and wanted to kind of make this more of a resource podcast for our clients and just folks in general. If they're interested in going on a trip, if they've got in the midst of planning one, or if they're even a few days before, or maybe even on the flight to go over to across the pond to start a trip. We predominantly go with Great Britain and Ireland as well as Spain. So want to talk about those specific areas and just different regions. Like DJ and I just got back from a trip to Northwest Ireland. So we're going to definitely talk about that in the future. We're going to talk about St. Andrews and the different ways to get on the old course and to play it, just different things. Again, just more of this as a resource for people that are looking to do a trip across the pond.
Well, you hit on a few important things there, and we should start with you mentioned clients, and so in the essence of full disclosure, Connor and I both represent Haversham and Baker Expeditions. If you're not familiar with H&B, we are the leading provider of international golf travel to America's private clubs and their members. We've had the honor of serving over 1,500 private clubs, I think it is, in our 30 plus year history, and hundreds of PGA professionals as well. Connor mentioned Great Britain and Ireland and Spain. Those are the destinations that we serve as at H&B, and that's kind of where our expertise lies. So, a couple things you're not going to find on this show. The first is, the tendency with a lot of travel content is to kind of paint a broad brush, if you will. They're talking about Sand Valley one week and Terra Iti the next, and what you're going to find here is we're looking to kind of dial in to those destinations that we serve and where our expertise is found. And so, for those who are planning trips to those areas, we hope that you find maybe a little more in depth, information for that process. But the other thing is, we're a golf travel company, and it's easy to think, oh, well, here comes the weekly sales pitch, and that is not what this is about. Whether you ever intend to travel with Haversham and Baker or not, our goal with this show is to be, like Connor said, a resource. Whether you're daydreaming about a trip, whether you're planning one already, or whether you've got one on the books and you're counting down, that's kind of our goal. We think that it'll hopefully be time well invested here at Golf and the Good Life. But, that kind of segues to another thing. And Connor, we probably should explain a little bit of what Golf and the Good Life actually means.
So yeah, DJ. So Golf and the Good Life is essentially kind of our vision, and I kind of joke and say sometimes it's our mission. And obviously, it is a golf trip. It's why you go. It's why you're playing, and why you're going over there to play the Great Links golf courses across the pond. But we also want you to have an amazing experience off the golf course, which that could include, going to different pubs, going to different restaurants. We personally vet every single restaurant, every single pub, and golf course across the pond. So a lot of those memories that people will think of and remember from 5, 10, 15 years after they've made the trip. It's not so much actually playing on the actual golf course. It's the memories in the pubs. It's in the coach with the coach driver. It's doing other things outside of golf. Again, obviously you go to play golf, but a lot of those memories are off the golf course. I've been across the pond multiple times. I've been employed at Adair Manor in Ireland. I've done a trip recently with DJ, which we'll talk a little bit about, to the northwest of Ireland. And a lot of those memories that I can remember are not actually on the golf course. They're off of it. And it's funny how that works. But that's kind of what Golf and the Good Life is to us, and what it means, and kind of our values as a company at Haversham and Baker.
Yeah, I mean, we see it year in and year out. I mean, when we send out our post expedition surveys, the golf is kind of a given. Everyone comments about how great the golf is, but they're still almost surprised about how great the things were off the golf course and how memorable those things were. And I see it every day. I handle all of our marketing, which means that I'm the guy running the Facebook page or what have you. And nothing is guaranteed to get people talking and reliving some moments more than, for example, just the other day, I posted a random picture of the Harbor Bar in Port Rush, and multiple people jump in and say, Willie is a legend. And if you haven't met Willie, you have to go to Port Rush to meet Willie. And so that's just just one of many, many examples of where your life off the golf course is just as important to your overall experience as your time on it. And so what we'll find in future episodes is there's going to be a segment each time that talks about the good life related to whatever our topic is. Connor mentioned Northwest Ireland. That's going to be episode one, or our official episode one, if you will.
Correct. Yep.
He and I were just over for, well, between the two of us and our concierge, Jen Eccles, we spent 3 months between us essentially over there. And Northwest Ireland was where we started. And there will be much more to talk about from there. But a lot of our time was spent not on the golf course. It was spent in the hotels. It was spent in the pubs. It was spent looking at restaurants and really dialing in the places that we wanted to recommend for our travelers. So look forward to a lot more of that in the episodes to come. Um, Connor, I think we've checked our box, if you will, of this random intro episode. And anything you want to add going forward?
No, I think that's it. Like I said, we want this to be more of a resource. We want it to be something where, maybe if people are looking to do a potential trip across the pond, they're tapping into our podcast and saying, hey, we can go here, we can go there. Maybe this is a place we want to go. Maybe this is a second or third trip we want to go to, or one of our clients that's going across, and they're leading up about a week beforehand, and they are listening to like every single podcast on that specific area that they're going to. So I'm looking forward to doing this with the DJ and talking more about golf and good life across the pond.
Great stuff. Well, there is plenty more to come. We will be back to you soon with our first episode from Northwest Ireland. But until then, on behalf of both Connor and myself, we wish you plenty of golf at its finest and life at its best.